KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson, gold sponsor of the 2018 Micro Games in Yap. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming right up on prime time, a deadly crash is under investigation after one man was hit by a car in Anigua on Monday night. Also tonight, senators override the governor's veto of the 2% sales tax bill and illegal dumping caught on camera. The Guam EPA is now investigating this video circulating online. Hafa everybody, and good evening. I'm Jason Salas, and our island's roadways have unfortunately claimed another life. The victim since been identified as 54-year-old Class Willie. Early Monday evening, Willie was crossing the street when he was hit by a car and killed. An autopsy did prove that he died as a result of a crushed chest and broken back. His death marks the 10th auto pedestrian fatality of the year. Crystal Paco has more.
Crash investigators were on scene in Anigua Monday night. A sneaker abandoned on one side of the street, the matching pair several lanes over.
From the debris that we're looking at the possible area of impact to be right there where the, I believe a shoe imprint is actually here, and you can actually see the brake marks or the skid marks, the first applied brakes and the continuous skid marks. The position of the vehicle and where the body actually landed is pretty much in close proximity.
Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao explains the male pedestrian was coming from the gas station towards the bell tower when he was struck by a Ford Escape. Around
7:56 p.m. it was confirmed by Naval Hospital Guam's attending ER physician that the pedestrian was pronounced deceased.
The driver involved was still on scene when KUAM cameras arrived. Family transported her to the hospital. Also still on scene, the Good Samaritan who rendered first aid to the victim. Andrew Plus is a Navy electrician regularly trained in CPR.
All the cars are slowing down, and then I noticed this car was sideways. So I pulled up to the front and I stopped because I always check to see if people are okay in accidents. Got out of my car and saw a man laying on the ground not moving. Went up and checked to see if he was breathing, if he was responsive, if he had a pulse. Didn't have any of that, so put him on his back and started CPR as quick as I could and maintained it until the fire department showed up and took over.
TJ Fuller was also on scene but declined an on-camera interview. He tells KUAM the victim was his neighbor at Arc Condos in Anigua, located on the same side of the road as the bell tower. Fuller says the man typically bought beer from a nearby store and drank nightly. It wasn't like him, however, to cross the street. Though KUAM observed LED streetlights on either side of the road, there was still limited visibility. We also didn't see a crosswalk in the immediate area.
Please slow down. First and foremost, refrain from drinking and driving. Slow down, adhere to all rules of the roadway, and be cognizant of where you are. You may have pedestrians crossing the street.
No arrests have been made in connection to this case. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Crystal, thanks so much, and you can find more on this story on KUAM.com right now. Well, moving on in our rundown, guns, meth, and cocaine is what officers with the Mandanya Drug Task Force found during a raid at a home up here in Dedido today. Now, 3 people have been placed under arrest after the incident as 44-year-old Sonny Carla Guatnia Vasquez and 46-year-old Joanne Mary Leon Guerrero each have been charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and possession of the drugs with intent to distribute. Vasquez additionally faces charges of possession of an unregistered firearm alongside 57-year-old Wayne Lassiter. Investigators carried out the search warrant after receiving information of illegal drug activity at a home along Botilio Road in Dedido. Authorities confiscated a pair of handguns, 10 grams of the drug ice, and 35 grams of cocaine. Well, Guam's finest have nabbed 5 minors accused of vandalizing property over in Sinanya, and it was all done with the help of the local neighborhood watch. Authorities say the youngsters, ranging from ages 12 to 17, have been charged with criminal mischief, graffiti, criminal facilitation, and conspiracy. Witnesses saw the group allegedly trying to open car doors along Bienvenida Avenue. They were later spotted on Monday tagging a home before taking off towards the village's church. They were located at the Sinanya mayor's office, where authorities there learned the handful of boys were responsible for graffiti within the village. The alleged incidents reported at the St. Jude Church in the parking lot of the Sinanya mayor's office and a bus shelter along Calle Angel Flores Street. The minors have since been released to their parents to give a notice to appear at a later date. Well, your elected senators, in other news, wasted no time in overriding the governor's veto of the sales tax repeal bill. The final margin was exactly the same as the vote to pass the bill. The administration now says there will be no new revenue to make up for what's expected to be a huge budget shortfall in the upcoming fiscal year, as Nestor Lecanto explains in our next story.
Veto Bill number 262-34 COR, notwithstanding the veto of Imagalayan Guahan, is overridden by a vote of 11-4.
Governor Calvo needed at least 2 senators to switch their vote in order to sustain his veto. Since no one did, it means the government faces a potential $160 million budget shortfall with no new revenue to bridge it. Calvo says it's up to senators to prevent the government from going over what he calls a looming fiscal cliff.
Of course, I'm looking towards the leadership of Speaker Cruz. He is not only the Ways and Means Chair, but he's a titular head, a Speaker of the Democratic-led majority of the legislature. It is now the legislature's responsibility, that's their main role, to create a budget so that services will be provided in this community.
Speaker Cruz has introduced 2 tax increase measures to raise revenues. One increases the business privilege tax another half point. The other calls for a 36% increase in the hotel occupancy tax from 11 to 15%. Calvo says at this point, he's ready to sign most anything.
But I'm hopeful. I talked to the Vice Speaker just a few minutes ago. I told her that whether it's the PPT or some other funding source, sales tax, obviously is not is going to be, I guess that's not what they're looking for in terms of a revenue source, but any other type of revenue source, as long as we can create a budget that again will continue to stabilize our government finances so we can provide critical services for the people of Guam and keep this economy stable.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The governor signed Bill 216, introduced by Senator Tom Addo, with the measure reserving 4 acres of land adjacent to the port for the construction of a customs inspection, holding, and secured sterile facility to be used by Customs and Quarantine. Moving forward in our rundown, as we noted, Appropriations Committee Chairman Speaker B.J. Cruz has introduced a pair of revenue enhancement bills. One in particular drew strong opposition during a public hearing Monday. As expected, both GVB and the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association are opposed to increasing the hotel occupancy tax from 11% to 15%. GVB CEO Nate DeKnight says overall tourist spending could drop by more than $500 million. Here's more from that rather contentious hearing.
Guam is estimated to realize a loss of $23.4 million to $59.1 million of tax revenues over the first 5 years. But this is excluding the impact of the tax revenue that would be generated as a result of the tax increases. In other words, these tax revenues decreases would represent a partial offset to the overall tax revenues expected to be raised through the increased taxes.
Now, Mary Rhodes, the president of the GHRA, shared her own statistics showing a similar negative impact on the hotel and restaurant industry. She says before imposing new taxes, the government needs to beef up collections by hiring more agents for the unmanned Department of Revenue and Taxation Department.
They are also your compliance officers for short-term vacation rentals and bed and breakfast and other areas that Rev and Tax needs to go out and check for compliance. So they have a big task at hand, and we need to support them to get the job done. So we need to support those agencies, but still hold them accountable to do their due diligence for collections before we make any changes to our existing tax systems.
In contrast to the private sector testimony, government officials from agencies such as Rev and Tax, including GMH and the Administration Department, generally testified in favor of the tax increase bills. Well, one man was caught on camera dumping trash as a viral video of a man speeding away in a white truck, allegedly dumping a refrigerator on a road in Dedido, prompted a response from the Guam EPA. Carmen Chalahi explains.
You might have watched this Facebook video depicting a man in a white pickup dumping an old fridge. According to the post, it's apparently the 3rd time he's dumped trash on a road in Dedido.
No, he's not.
Yes.
No, he's not. This is Guam property. It's a water well.
No.
It's a water well.
Come on, boy.
You're stuck already, buddy. EPA gonna get you.
The video went viral, shared multiple times across WhatsApp chats and neighborhood watch groups until it was forwarded at least a dozen times to Guam EPA, that prompting a full-on investigation. KEPA spokesperson Nick Rupley-Lee.
In recent history, this is the first time we're seeing somebody in the act of an apparent violation. In this particular instance, you see a clear face, you see a license plate that is that's visible, and so this was very unique, and this did speed up the investigation in terms of identifying a responsible party.
Guam EPA has since confirmed the identity of the man caught in the act. Rupley says the man willingly went to the agency to talk about his actions and is now facing a fine of no less than $200. That amount could end up being $1,000 if the courts find he's had prior violations. Rupley says Guam EPA works to respond to complaints and photos of areas littered in trash, but it's often difficult to issue citations, especially when no one was caught in the act.
There are a handful of challenges. Obviously, limited agency resources could prove difficult, and it's not just managing illegal dumping and solid waste that the agency has primacy over.
The agency is scheduled to conduct a follow-up inspection at the Dedido site sometime this week. Members of the community are encouraged to send their complaints directly to Guam EPA. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Turlahi.
All right, my friends, before we go to our first commercial break, there is news just in from the Adeloop, who confirms that $2 million in tax refunds is being mailed out as I speak. Now, this covers Status A tax returns filed up through February the 9th. We are back right after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
When I was much younger, my dad told me, never forget where you come from. As a nurse, lawmaker, and a banker, I have seen the struggles that our people face.
Severe lack of funding and a shortage of staff.
Inadequate health care, outdated government regulations, crushing government debt, the rising cost of living, record crime rates, and an economy that is fragile. All of these things affect us in a very real and personal way, and you have shared your hopes, your fears, and your disappointments. Democrats on Guam have championed policies that enable people to reach their potential. Together, we can truly make a change, restoring faith in our future. It's time for change we can trust.
I'm Lilian Guerrero, and I approve this message.
In this divided world, there are still things that unite us. Great music, thrilling games, and the love for that perfect burger. Ruby Tuesday Guam, for the love of burgers menu. For a limited time, get an amazing burger for just $11.99. Lunchtime at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back to Primetime right here on KUAM TV8 and Facebook Live. We have more information to pass on to you now about that viral image of a woman sitting on what appeared to be a laddie stone. Joint Region Marianas provided its own written response to advocacy group Protehi Liteksen. In a letter emailed on Tuesday, Public Information Officer Lieutenant Ian McConaughey says that they are on top of cultural sensitivity awareness training. He states, and I quote, "Per the 2011 programmatic agreement, we will continue to conduct initial orientation briefs for incoming DoD personnel, their families, and contractors dealing with the sensitivity of historic properties in the area," end quote. On Monday, Protehi Liteksen wrote to Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield after an image circulated of a sailor sitting on top of what appeared to be a laddie stone. 23-year-old Rebecca Hutton has since removed the photo from her personal Instagram profile and issued a public apology. You can view the letter from Joint Region Marianas on KUAM.com. Elsewhere tonight, as we reported earlier online, Amanda Blas is on her way out of the Adelup and trying to get in as a senator with the forthcoming 35th Guam legislature. Blas, the executive director on the Commission on Decolonization, stepped down after KUAM discovered her official job title did not allow her to run without resigning. Now, while some say Blas should have resigned immediately after filing her senatorial bid, she's now in her last week of work at Adelup, possibly violating the Mini Hatch Act for a full month without any repercussions. Chris Barnett has more.
It was the right thing to do.
It was a personal choice, you know. I think that it was the best decision I could have made to make sure there was no question about my ability to run.
That's Republican senatorial candidate Amanda Blas telling KUAM News about her decision to step down as executive director of the Commission on Decolonization. Blas's senatorial candidacy becoming controversial when Civil Service Commission Director Pete Calvo told KUAM News Blas should have resigned when she filed her senatorial bid with the Guam Election Commission in early June. At issue, her official job title. Blas and Governor Eddie Baza Calvo maintaining she was a special assistant. But a KUAM News investigative report revealed that according to her personnel forms with the Department of Administration, Blas was officially an executive director of the COD. According to Guam law, special assistants and staff assistants to the governor do not have to resign when running for elected office. To this day, even though DOA lists her position title in black and white, Blas says she still considers herself an Adelup special assistant.
I still hold that I was a special assistant that served as the executive director, but like I said, this was the best decision I felt I could make.
Adelup special and staff assistants running for political office have been the subject of scrutiny, with 5 highly paid staffers pulling down paychecks while campaigning for elected office. Lieutenant Governor candidate Tony Atta, Jose San Augustine, Alfredo Antolin, Julius Santos, and Tello Taitagui, all assistants to the governor, cost the people of Guam a whopping $300,000 a year in salaries alone. With the stroke of a pen, the governor could have easily made Blas an official special assistant and saved her from having to quit her $82,000 a year day job. And KUAM News asked Blas if she felt any resentment towards Adelup candidates who didn't have to quit.
Absolutely not. Like I said, it was a personal decision, and I do wish everybody the best who's running. I know that there's a great slate of candidates this year, and I wish every single one of them the best of luck.
Her last day on the job as COD Executive Director is July 23rd, but Blas said she'll still be a familiar face in the decolonization movement.
The self-determination process has definitely become close to my heart. I'll continue to be around and helping out with the commission as needed. I thank the governor for the opportunity of working with the commission, and I thank the commission members and the task forces for all the knowledge they shared with me and insight they provided.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
And let's deviate from local headlines for a moment because we got regional updates from KSPN2 News in Saipan.
Half a day, Guam. Here's what's making news in the CNMI. Charges are filed in separate cases for twin brothers who admitted to being involved in the hit-and-run incident that happened last month. According to court documents, Anthony and Vicente Muña were both charged with reckless driving, driving under the influence of drugs, attempted robbery, and conspiracy to commit robbery. On June 8th, surveillance video shows two female tourists walking northbound on the side of the road in Garapan by the Gold Beach Hotel. Here is a look at the video clip. In this video, you can see a sedan behind the victim slow down, veer off the highway, and strikes one of the victims. The victim sustained bodily injuries and received treatment at CHCC for multiple abrasions to the body and closed head injuries. After further review of the surveillance video and extensive search, investigators were able to find the suspect vehicle. Upon further investigation, police later identified the operator of the suspect vehicle as Anthony Muña. Through multiple interviews with the Muña brothers, both later admitted and provided written statement that they were the ones in the vehicle at the time of the incident. A $25,000 bail was set for both defendants. The Muña brothers are also charged with criminal mischief, burglary, theft, and conspiracy in a different case. On April 25th of this year, police responded to a criminal mischief incident at the Grotto in Marpy. There, police learned that someone had broken a window of a white van, and through preliminary investigation, 8 tourists claimed that their bags, money, passports, and other personal items were stolen. During the interview with the brothers for the hit-and-run incident, they also admitted to this burglary at the Grotto and other burglaries on the island. Bail for this case is set at $50,000. The Muña brothers are in custody of the Department of Corrections and are returning to court for a preliminary hearing this week. Watch these top stories and more at saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Adriana Cotero.
And also tonight, back on Guam, armed with gloves, fertile soil, and native saplings, our island's young eco-warriors planted trees over at the Guam Museum downtown. By way of a collaboration with the Department of Agriculture's Forestry Division, dozens of local kids participating in the Guam Museum's Costa Summer Camp program planted ifit trees and gausali plants that are culturally symbolic and native to our island. Director of the Department of Agriculture, Matthew Sablan, tells KUAM News it's been more than a year in the making.
It's for the future generation. It's all about them. You know, they take part of the reforestation of our native plants, sustainment and perpetuating the beauty of our island.
Both agriculture and the museum hope that planting these trees will inspire young minds to continue to preserve our native plants. And we hope you preserve your viewing because we are back right after this.
Introducing the Alpha Plus app. With the rewards feature, you can earn points and get free rewards. Filing insurance claims gets no easier, as you can receive feedback within 24 hours. Easily check your insurance balance and insurance policy with the My Policy feature. So download the all-new Alpha Plus app on Google Play or the App Store. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
Mary and Mark said they'll meet us there at 8 o'clock, okay? What are you doing, hun?
I gotta be the faster draw tonight. They beat us to the bill last time, and we missed out on the 3% cash back. I got the skills to pay the bills.
This summer, the Bank of Guam Visa credit card gives you 3% cash back on all purchases. It's an offer so good, you'll be competing to pay the bill.
Your check.
The Visa credit card with 3% cash back this June, July, and August. Only at Bank of Guam. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, member FDIC.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. We get the show started tonight with Jiu-Jitsu from the Guam Museum and wrap things up with an update from the Micronesian Games in Yap. Check it out. Show Your Role's free Jiu-Jitsu workshop welcomed any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner to the Guam Museum this past weekend. The event drew out gyms across the island to train for one day alongside 3 BJJ world champions. The kids hit the mats first, followed by the adults later in the day for the seminar and open mat.
I'm impressed with the number of the black belts that I have seen here. It's amazing, and I could see like how young the kids started. So that's why I have so many black belts, and the level here is really high. And for sure, in the future, you're gonna see a lot of world champions from Guam. That's no doubt about it.
The island's top jiu-jitsu competitors were able to unify under one flag for the short period of time with the help of all the sponsors and Show Your Role's founder, Bear Kittigwa. His vision came to life, and our off-island guests saw firsthand the growth and popularity of the sport on island.
And I'm very impressed of the quality of the jiu-jitsu in Guam, how many people we have, and I'm happy to inspire the new generation. We have here more than 50 girls today training. So you guys are so lucky to live in the paradise, paradise in jiu-jitsu. That's perfect combination.
Guam definitely has a bright future with more kids learning the sport under the guidance of homegrown black belts. It's the culture and our people who shine on and off the mats.
People are awesome. I feel like a home, kind of, and I like the weather here, the beauty of the island, food is great, and man, I'm having a great time here, and for sure I'm gonna come here soon, just like enjoy the island more, and like know about the culture here. That's awesome. I have been great, having a great time here.
Now for your micro games update from Yap. Team Guam picked up a win in women's basketball. Team Guam defeated Palau 79-41. Destiny Castro led the way with 24 points. Cali Beneventi added 10 in the win for Guam. On the men's side, Guam beat Palau 77-61. Billy Belger and Mike Sakazaki both finished the game with 18 points apiece. Our men's team followed up their first day performance with a win over Kiribati today, 72-47. Ben Borja put up a team-high 16 points. Mike Sakazaki added 13. Sevi Siswiko and Will Stinnett chipped in with 10 and 8 respectively. Guam improves to 2-0 in competition. Guam's first day total for track and field, 9 total medals. Regine Tagadi added a gold in the 100 meters with a time of 12.38. Shania Bulala finished with bronze in the 100 with a time of 13.16. Guam swept the long jump. Regine took gold with a distance of 4.95 meters. Shania finished with a silver with a distance of 4.84 meters. Rochelle Tagadi finished with bronze with a distance of 4.69 meters. Women's javelin, Jeannie Gerardo took gold with a distance of 28.17 meters. Coach Desmond Mandel says, "We are excited to have such a great start to the competition. 9 medals in one day is quite an accomplishment. We hope to keep the momentum going." That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus and Mighty, that means big savings during our summer clearance event. Right now, save up to $8,000 on select 2018 Ram 1500 SLT Crew Cab, or save $3,250 on a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Voted Family Car of the Year. 1.99 APR financing is available for qualified buyers. Plus, buy today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Don't miss our summer clearance events going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Check out Triple J's spectacular July deals going on now during the hot summer savings event. 0 down, 1.9% financing, and easy trade-in. Get into a 2018 Mazda 3 Sport for as low as $16,995. Or our big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $298 per paycheck. Or the North American Car of the Year, the 2018 Honda Accord at only $206 per paycheck. Plus, receive a free limited edition Liberation gift pack with every vehicle purchase. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
All right, boys and girls, do you have your birthday hats on? You got 3 seconds to do so. 3, 2, 1. Here's your birthday shout-outs. Let's all get ready to wish happy birthday to some very lucky Guamanians on this July 17th, led off by Alex Pangilinan, who blows out the candles today, as does Ariani Tanaka. Happy 4th birthday, Sissy, comes from the Tanaka family. Also, happy birthday to Vincent Bamba. This comes from the homies, Marley, Troy, and Kakoa. It is also birthday number 4, and we send best wishes to Monisha Pangilinan. This comes from the Bernardo family, who says they love you and they wish you the very best in life. Nathaniel Jordan Espanillo. Happy birthday, Nate. We love and miss you plenty, say your beloved family. It is also happy birthday wishes to Sayana May Ann Live Nedlick. Happy sweet 16, princess. We love you, says your loving family. It is also a very happy birthday to Champ Calvo, so we hope you had a wonderful day today. As is Ayana, Betty, and Sharoma. Happy birthday to you, and wish everybody a very wonderful birthday. Buddy, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Super easy to do, super rewarding, super fulfilling, and super fun. Just go to KUAM.com and stay tuned because KARM is up next. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is in 2 seconds. Go.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Presented by Paradise.